Hi, my name is David McLeod. I'm the founder of The Magic of I Am and creator of the Daily Affirmation program. Welcome to today's video presentation. I used to believe that I had to work really hard in order to create success in my life. In fact, I had a whole list of things I had to fulfill before I could label anything a success. I had a very limited view of what success really was. For me, success could only happen if I was creating something, bringing something into the world that would have a real impact. In my mind, whatever I was trying to produce would have to change a lot of people's lives for the better. And how many was a lot? Well, certainly more than ever did get affected by my offerings. And of course, in order for me to declare something a success, there had to be a lot of money involved. Money that was coming toward me because of the fact that I had solved some kind of major problem and people loved my solution so much that they couldn't wait to pay me for it. But even that wasn't enough. Because in my mind, nothing could be labeled success until the whole world recognized it as such. Well, clearly, by these metrics, very few people could ever be called successful. And my narrow view made it virtually impossible for me ever to see myself as successful. I had put so many restrictions on the concept and set such a high standard for myself that I had created a failure trap. One that led to a lot of misery and frustration and anger within me. But when my kids had grown big enough to walk and talk, something started to change. I had long ago made the decision to be much more forgiving of failures and mistakes to my kids than my parents had to me. So I had decided that I was going to do my best to love my kids without reservation, no matter what kind of mistakes or failures they seemed to have. And that's what I did, to the best of my ability. I encouraged my kids to try new things, even if they had no idea how to do them. I encouraged them to trust their hearts and to do what felt honest and true to them. I encouraged them to check in with themselves and to keep trying if that felt like the right thing to do. I encouraged them to see obstacles not so much as messages that they should stop trying, but rather as check-in points to determine if what they were trying to do was truly what they wanted. Because it was something they really wanted in their heart, they would find a way around the obstacle. Well, interestingly, as this process was happening, the idea of success didn't even really enter my mind. I supported and encouraged my kids no matter what the outcomes of their efforts, and I always invited them to consider what they had learned during their process. And I guess in my own way, I was essentially declaring everything a success, at least as far as my kids were concerned. Well, it took a while before I recognized the irony of being compassionately supportive of my kids while still being so hard on myself. But eventually, I was able to change my view and to completely redefine success in a way that now makes a whole lot more sense to me. Perhaps this was because as I was raising my kids, I was also subconsciously reparenting myself. What seems true to me nowadays is that success really has nothing to do with money or being seen or even making it a big impact. Success, it seems to me, has everything to do with following your heart and not letting anything stop you from being the most authentic you can possibly be in any given moment. Everything else seems to emanate from that. If you are being truly authentic to who you are, everything else just flows naturally in your life. And money and success and being seen all seem to occur spontaneously, with almost no effort at all. May you live every moment from the authentic truth of your heart and delight in the abundance of success that you naturally attract into your life. Have an effortlessly successful week.